Hello class, my name is Cassie and today my title of my speech is Chickens, Understanding Them One Cluck at a Time. So to start off, we're in Hawaii and obviously we have wild chickens. Now when you see them every day you're probably thinking like, oh, they're no different from the pigeons outside really, or like any other animal you see every day. I'm going to tell you some interesting facts about them. First I will explain the different breeds and categories of chickens. And then I will explain some of the basic behavior and communication skills that they have. And then I will talk about some of the general health concerns they have in lifespan. Okay, so to start off, chickens were actually domesticated by humans. They were originally Asian jungle fowl. So they were from Asia and then they were bred and domesticated down to be used for eggs, meat, and pets. So first off, there are actually over 100 different kinds of chickens worldwide, breeds. They're kind of like dogs in the way that there's like so many different breeds, I can't list them all for you. So I'm just going to go over a couple of the basic ones for you. There's three basic uses for chickens. The first one would be normally egg layers, and that's what you normally see in like egg lay factories and where people get their eggs from. And then, so here we have a barred rock, which is one of the basic egg layers that is used. And then here is a Rhode Island red, if you want. Closer. That's what the chicken looks like. And that's a Rhode Island red. And then we have ornamental breeds. Now ornamental breeds are normally used for shows. And so like groups like 4-H, which I don't know if they have 4-H here, but it's basically where like teenagers and kids, they have this farming group where they can show off their animals. So the ornamental breeds are bred to look pretty, and they have fun colored feathers and stuff like that, but they're not good at laying eggs and they're not for eating really. The first ones we have here are silkies, and you can see that they're very fluffy, like almost like a cat. I actually have a story where there was this one woman who used to bring her pet Silky out with her to the park, and this one person, she was holding it, this one person came up and said, "Can I pet your dog?" And then the chicken looks up and you see it has a beak. And they're like, "Oh, what is that?" And they're like, "It's my chicken." That's a Silky. I actually have pet Silkies myself at home. They're very friendly and good to have for pets. And then we have Sumatras. Sumatras are standard breed birds. So there's different in size when it comes to chickens. You can have two different sizes. There's standards or bantams. Standard is the typical chicken you think of that's about this big. Bantams are basically the miniature version of certain breeds of chickens. So you can get, for example in this photo, Brahmas. You can get the large kind, which is the basic one that everybody thinks about when they think of chicken. But then you can get a miniature kind, and they can be the same exact age, but different size. So here is Sumatra in the ornamental breeds. That's very popular for show. I think it's kind of rare too. It has longer feathers, it has greenish tone to it. Over here we have Polish. This is also another kind of chicken I have. I don't personally show my birds, but I have them as pets and I think they're very cute, so I own lots of really weird looking ones. They have crests on their heads, which is basically like a helmet of feathers, really. And then here we have Polish frizzled, and they're called frizzled because they have a genetic abnormality where it makes their feathers frizzle out like this. And then when we go to the broiler breeds. Now the broiler breeds are basically meat birds, meaning these are the ones you see on your dinner table. These are the ones that are bred to be eaten. The most basic of the broiler breeds is pretty much the Cornish game hen, you've probably heard. And that's what they look like here. Next, I'm going to talk about feather patterns. So there's about 6 basic, or probably more, feather patterns. The ones I have here are single lace. Single lace is basically where there's the color lacing the outside of the feather. You can see that in this photo here with the Cornish hen. It has lacing on the outside of the feathers. Then you have double lace, which is basically double lacing on the outside of the feathers. And then we have penciling. You can see penciling in on these feathers here on the Brahma. We have barred, which you can see on the egg layer here, which is the barred rock, hence the name. Here we have a model, and then we have spangling. And also there's solid, which I don't really need to show you a picture for that one. Okay, and then we have the vocalization and body language of chickens. Now chickens actually have 30 different vocalizations, and they all have different meanings. So, for example, if a hawk is to fly over, a chicken will make a call that specifically means there's an air predator. If there's, let's say, a fox that comes into the garden, it'll have to make a different noise, letting the chickens know the direction in which it's coming from. Chickens can also recognize up to 100 different individuals, including humans. And chickens are able to comprehend that when an object is taken away and hidden from them, that it still exists. Most human children can't even comprehend that. Next, I will go to I will talk about the health concerns when it comes to chickens. So chickens normally, if they're healthy, can live up to 8 to 10 years. In extreme cases, where they've been taken care of really well, they can live up to 20 years, but that's not very common. The reason why this isn't very common is unless you have them as pets, which not many people do. They normally have them for laying eggs or meat or just regular farming. They can get a lot of health problems. Some of these health problems are respiratory infections. They can be bacterial or viral. They can get parasites, meaning like worms. They can get mites, lice. They can get fowl pox, which is a disease caused by mosquitoes. When the mosquito bites them, it makes their face break out and sores. And also bumblefoot. And I've noticed you can actually see on some of the pigeons walking around Fort Street Mall, you'll see some of them have missing toes. It's most likely due to bumblefoot, which is basically a bacterial infection. When they cut the bottom of their foot, the bacteria gets in and basically their limbs fall off. To conclude, now you've learned about some of the diversity of chickens, their sizes, their feather patterns, their communication skills, and also some of their health concerns. Thank you.